it's a little bit later than normal, but had to watch my Timbers play. Yeah, it was hard to actually find any news articles on the case. If you guys can find any, let me know. The Walker County Jane Doe from 1980. Wow, look at Blue's getting dug in up there. Yeah, November 1st, 1980. So if you guys can find any articles where they just reported finding a body or something like that, let me know. I had a hard time finding it, but it led to all those other interesting stories, so I guess it was worth looking. Maybe I'm not typing in the right keyword or whatever. You know, at Wikipedia, that's what I'm kind of using here. It does have a lot of sources at the bottom, so maybe I can take a look at some of those. But what I was doing, I've been researching it, but there seems like there's just all the different sites have kind of the same story. I didn't really realize that this, the Walker County Jane Doe was sort of one of the bigger ones that other YouTubers and so forth have covered over the years. I don't even look at that kind of shit. Something interests me and then I go do it. I don't do it because other people do it. As a matter of fact, I get kind of bummed out when I see that somebody else did it. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's cool. You know, you want exposure out there, but what I'm saying when I get bummed out, it's like, oh crap. I thought I found it first or something like that. You know what I mean? Because, I know there's a million stories out there that are really old. Like, how come that Earth isn't spinning, man? Let me check that out. Hold on. It's supposed to be playing it's like a video. I wonder why it's not doing it though. Oh. Huh. Well, it should be playing it. The video's there. Okay, now the Earth is spinning, but not the moon. Okay, let's try that again. There we go. All right, everybody. Now the Earth is spinning and the moon. I feel back to normal again. Yeah, so feel free, after I go over what I have, to send links. Don't send in links right in the middle of when I'm still talking, okay? Because it always throws me off, like, oh wow, okay, what do I see? And then it's like, oh, have you seen this case, Gray? It's a case about, no, I don't care, I'm doing this one right now. Right? And by the way, people are guessing, Gray, are you an Aries? Gray, are you this and that? It just shows you that, that whole, you know, when you look at a sign, like what sign somebody is, astrological sign, you can always just make every sign fit anybody almost. You know, so I'm not really sure there's anything to it. Like, they had two different ones, but no, everybody, I'm a Libra, okay? Balancing the scales. And by the way, there's this YouTuber out there that said, well, Gray in his video, he said it's a fact that there was a gun in the Libby and Abby case. And I've said a million times, I go, I just say this is what I think happened. And the reason I say that there was a gun isn't because I'm making something up. It's because I've heard from people that have actually seen the video that there's something in there that not that you can see but hear that makes people, law enforcement, believe that there was a gun involved. Okay, so when people go, oh, he doesn't know, what is he talking about? Well, that's why I say it. If you don't, I'm sorry that you didn't get to, speak to the same people that I have, or I bet you really haven't even tried. And when you do, maybe you'll learn something else, okay? But I base all my stuff on what I know. I try to, as hard as I can, to get the actual information, all right? So right now I'm just blabbing away, waiting for people to show up so we can do the Walker County Jane Doe. All right, you guys ready? No, they're not uninformed. They just don't know the answer. So because they don't know, they have to cut down at somebody else who might actually know the answer. Yeah, that's just how it works. I learned that a long time ago. I mean, the person said he liked my videos and all that kind of stuff, but then he proceeded to bash me as if I'm making stuff up, okay? The same guys that completely throw out unfactual information every second of every day. Oh, you can't... What's wrong with Streamlabs? Is it broken? Thanks, Kyra.
I can't donate with Streamlabs.
Weird. All right, I'm gonna go through the Wikipedia article because it seems pretty good, and then we'll branch off into some of these sort of other sources like that. But then also at the bottom of Wikipedia, there's a lot of links. I hadn't really thought of that. Usually people, I haven't really checked into those. Sometimes I have clicked, but they're like articles that don't exist anymore or newspaper. But this one seems to have like 30 or 40 different links down there. All right. So here is the Walker County Jane Doe. Right here. This is an image that's really small. Let me bust out. As a matter of fact, they have a better one now. I think this one they think is a little bit more accurate. But that's basically what she looked like. I actually do have a picture of her deceased that I'll show you guys. I'll let you know that I'm going to show it to you, and if you don't want to see it, then you don't have to look at it. It's just her face. I mean, she looks... I mean, I don't know how do you say it. She doesn't really look peaceful, but she doesn't look like she's, making a face or anything like that. Are you okay, Peekaboo? What do you mean, yay? You sound like an idiot. Jesus. Yay! Come back with a cool a comeback. What do you mean, yay, for post-mortem pictures? It's not really a yay moment. It's just I'm going to show it because that's part of the case, okay? Do it again. Say it again. Thanks, Claudia Neubauer.
Grateful for Grey Hughes.
What the heck? What did it say? Hughes? You gotta put spaces in there. Or, wow, it said Hughes. Alright. So basically it starts down here. On November 1st, 1980, the nude body of a girl estimated to be between the ages of 14 and 20 was discovered by a truck driver who had been driving past the Sam Houston National Forest. But what's weird about that, though, is it didn't seem like it was really anywhere near where she was actually found, so I'm just going to forget that part. She was lying face down in an area of grass approximately 20 feet from the shoulder of Interstate Highway 45 and just 2 miles north of Huntsville. This motorist called police at 9:20 a.m. to report his discovery. The decedent had been deceased for approximately 6 hours, thus placing her time of death around 3:20 a.m. A rectangular brown pendant containing a smoky blue or brown glass, that could be amber, I guess, colored stone on a thin gold chain necklace was found around her neck. Her ears were pierced, although no earrings were found in her ears nor at the crime scene. Yeah, kind of makes you wonder if the person took those as a souvenir, right? High-heeled red leather sandals with light brown straps, which investigators would subsequently discover the girl had been seen carrying while alive, were also recovered from the scene, although the remainder of her clothing was missing. So I wonder, was she walking around, when they remember seeing her, was she walking around with different shoes on, or was she just had socks or bare feet or what? Or did she just use those to maybe put on and maybe try to get a ride from somebody? If you know what I'm talking about. Like, you look a little, I don't know, I mean, it's weird to say, but maybe you put them on when you're walking down the highway to get picked up as a hitchhiker. Because I don't really... Did they say she was barefooted, Renee? Did you read that somewhere? I didn't see that. Matt, did you read somewhere where it said barefoot? Is that just what you're saying? Okay, but you don't know then. All right, good. So we don't know if she had another pair of shoes on or what was going on. Yeah, I mean, I would understand. You know, I visualize her taking them off. You know, her feet are hurting. She's walking on a street. She's not going to want to walk with these high heel shoes walking around. And that's what I visualize. However, we don't know if she didn't have a pair of sneakers or something like that. And I can't believe I just used the word sneakers. Oh my God. Right, no other clothing was found, but she could have had shoes that were thrown away somewhere too, right? Yeah, exactly. No, it doesn't indicate any barefooted at all. All they said was they found red shoes next to her, and she was seen earlier carrying those red high heel shoes. That's it, okay? So all the other stuff is just speculation based on whatever you want to believe, okay? We don't know if she had shoes on. They didn't even find the rest of her clothing either, right? So maybe she had some other kinds of shoes or something. I don't know. But nobody said anything about that she was walking around barefooted. At least I haven't seen that yet. Maybe they'll say it down here. Let's try to find this part here. So at the autopsy, she was approximately 5 foot 6 inches in height. She weighed between 105 and 120 pounds and was described by Harris County Medical Examiner as being well-nourished individual. Her eyes were hazel and her hair was approximately 10 inches in length and light brown in color, with what has been described as a possible reddish tint, although her hair bore no evidence of having received color treatment. The decedent's fingernails were bare and her toenails had been painted pink. Distinctive features upon her body were a vertical scar measuring 1.5 inches at the edge of her right elbow, and the fact that her right nipple was inverted. That's weird. So it was not symmetrical. Due to the general condition of the decedent's body, including her overall health, nutrition, and excellent dental care she had received in life, Walker County Jane Doe may have hailed from a middle-class household. Now, see, this is another one of these ones. It's probably a story where she ran away, and she'd ran away before, and the parents just said, you know, the hell with it. And they've assumed that she ran away all these years and never did a reporting. And when I was talking to Colleen Fitzpatrick, that seems to be something that happens a lot. Yeah, it's weird that the estimated 14 to 20, isn't it? Alright. See, the cause of death was certified by the coroner to be asphyxia due to ligature strangulation, possibly inflicted via a pantyhose. Fragments of which gets kind of gross, kind of disgusting here in a second. Fragments of which, along with the decedent's underwear, were found inside the victim's vaginal cavity. The pantyhose and underwear had likely been placed inside the girl in an attempt to prevent her body from bleeding as she was transported to the site of her discovery, as the girl had been sexually assaulted with a large blunt instrument. And both vaginal and anally, vaginally and anally with that same large blunt instrument. And these acts had occurred prior to her death. I mean, my God, she's tortured. You know, this is the kind of shit where, you know, as Carter would say, where nightmares are made of. I mean, it's a freaking nightmare. It is unknown if the girl had actually been conventionally raped, as no biological evidence attesting to this form of assault was discovered either at the crime scene or subsequent coroner examination of the body. So whoever did this didn't leave DNA like that. There was no conventional rape where he was inside of her and deposited semen. And so this person is a psycho. I mean, this is literally this is the kind of stuff that serial killers do. Do you guys agree with that? I mean, normal rapes are people who rape to satisfy, they just want to rape and satisfy some kind of need, and then they kill the person and they move on and they do it again and again and again. They can also be serial killers. But this is the kind of thing where it's that other type of serial killer, the one that's got the crazy stuff going on, you know? Like a signature of some sort. I mean, it's a little bit reminiscent of John Miller in the April Tinsley case. You guys remember that? How he used that large wooden object on an 8-year-old? I mean, that's the part of that case that just... I just want to take John Miller and hit him in the head with a bat. Not too hard, though. You know what I mean? Like, you just kind of you hit him just enough where... I mean, he's just a freaking monster, too. Apparently, though, I learned at CrimeCon he was a really intelligent person. He was tricking everybody with his stupid writing and so forth. Alright, so following exhaustive witness appeals and extensive media accounts regarding her murder, numerous individuals, all of whom are now deceased, informed investigators they had seen a teenage girl matching the decedent's description within the 24 hours prior to her murder. These individuals include the manager of South End Gulf Station, and I looked up Gulf stations and most of them were purchased by Shell. Or yeah, I think that was Shell. Hold on, let me double check. I don't want to say the wrong thing here. Yeah, so Shell gas station. And now it said the wording on that makes it sound like it's at the South End. So let's see what it said. The South End Gulf Station. So since it was bought by Shell, I looked up the gas stations in the town. There was no Gulf station, so I looked up that Shell had purchased most of the Gulf stations. And this gas station right here was at the south part of the town, and it's a Shell station. So I'm assuming, okay, that's all I'm doing here. I'm just assuming that this is the gas station right here. And maybe it's been remodeled and so forth since. Who knows? I'm sure it has. I mean, I'm sure it didn't look like this back then. That's definitely 1980. Didn't have a food mart or anything like that. But perhaps it was in this location. All right, I'm not claiming that to factually be the spot, but that's the only thing that made sense. There was no more gas stations this way. This is on the south end, and it's a Shell station. There's another Shell station kind of over in this area, and it's more in the middle of town. But it could definitely be one of the other stations. All right, so don't say, Gray, you got the gas station wrong. Oh, golly, you know what? I'm not going to watch your channel anymore. Oh, so what? I don't care. Okay? I just told you I don't know for sure, but that's what I'm saying it is, all right? It's an opinion that I have. See how there's a difference there? It's weird. Within the 24-hour, let's see, so right here. These individuals include a manager of a South End Gulf station and 2 employees at the Hitch and Post truck stop. And listen to this part. All of whom describe this girl as wearing blue jeans, a dirty yellow pullover, and a white knit sweater with noticeably large pockets which extended past her waist. This girl had been carrying red leather-strapped high heel sandals. But again, they don't say she was walking around barefooted. According to the first witness, the girl, appearing somewhat disheveled, had arrived at the South End Gulf Station at approximately 6:30 p.m. on October 31st, Halloween. And man, some barbarian actually made it a nightmare for her. At this location, she had exited a blue 1973-1974 model Chevrolet Capri. And here is a sample of that. That's what it looked like. I'm sorry, I can't. For some reason, I can't make that any bigger. Oh, there you go. That worked this time. All right, see that? That's what it looked like. Probably worth a hell of a lot of money today, I would imagine. So that's the kind of car she was seen in. And let me get back to the article. That was on October 31st at 6:30, and I think she probably was hitchhiking and probably wore the shoes, so, you know, it's likely that she didn't have shoes on. I'm just saying we don't know, right? Because they're not saying that. But I could see her putting the shoes on whenever she needed a ride because it made her look older and, you know, quote, sexier, whatever the hell you want to call it. And she'd put those on and get the ride. As soon as she got the ride to wherever she was going, she would take them off and her feet would be comfortable again, and then she'd go in and have something to eat or whatever the hell she's going to do, all right? That's just an opinion that I have. All right, the witness stated the girl had asked for directions to the Texas Department of Corrections, Ellis Prison Farm. I mean, isn't that wild? I mean, after receiving directions, the girl had left the Gulf Station on foot and was later walking north on Sam Houston Avenue. Okay, so interestingly, the Texas Department of Corrections, right here, it's right there. This is where that's located. So she was trying to get directions in town here to get there, and then she left the Gulf gas station here, and then apparently, let's see what Sam Houston, just a second. I think it's this one right in front of me right here. Ah, crap. I think Sam Houston's this one right here, but let me just make sure. What did that say exactly? It said Sam Houston Avenue. Okay. Man, I saw it earlier, but now it's not there. Sam Houston Avenue. Okay, there you go. Huntsville. There. Yeah, so same street. 75 right here. So she came out of here and then she was walking north on Sam Houston, this direction. And that actually makes a lot of sense because she ended up over here at the Hitchin Post truck stop that I have marked. So let's keep going on here. After receiving directions, the girl left the Gulf station on foot and was later seen walking north on Sam Houston Avenue. This same girl was later seen at the Hitchin Post truck stop along Interstate 45. Now, see, now we're back into the whole trucker thing again, right? I mean, she could easily have asked to hitch a ride from a nefarious trucker type, put her shoes on again, and I think that she was tortured somewhere for a while. You know, she was actually bound too, and so you've got this situation where she's bound, and all of her clothes end up being gone. So this person probably kept her in her high heels, and just wanted to picture her like that, and then started doing all this crazy stuff with the large instrument. Okay, and then when she died, he ended up killing her at some point, and then he dumped her body and then threw the shoes out with her, but probably discarded the clothing, or maybe even kept some of the clothing and earrings and so forth. Maybe the earrings as a trophy, the clothes for a little bit longer time, because her scent would be on there and he could sort of relive it as he's driving across the country, maybe. Who knows? I mean, what he did to her makes him a psycho, so we don't know what the hell he was doing. All right. This part right here. In response, a waitress drew a map providing directions to the prison farm, which she then handed to the girl. This waitress informed investigators that she had suspected the girl was a runaway, and that in their brief conversation, the girl had informed her she was from either Rockport or Aransas Pass, Texas. The girl had also claimed to this waitress that she was 19 years old. When the waitress had expressed doubts as to her claimed age, and further asked her if her parents knew her whereabouts. See, this is the key right here. The girl had reportedly replied, "Who cares?" Yeah, let's see what that says right there. Okay. It was supposed to be a link to where that was said, but it says where it was said, but I don't want to sign up and waste all that time. Texas DPS Unidentified Person Bulletin. That was November 30th, 2012. Both inmates and employees of the Ellis Prison Farm were canvassed and shown mortuary photographs of the victim, although none were able to identify her. Investigators also traveled to both Rockport and Aransas Pass districts to converse with law enforcement personnel regarding any missing females. So they weren't able to link her to the prison or anything like that. They don't even know why she asked to go there or anything like that. All right, so now I'm going to show you. This is one of the images, okay? So that's her, right? So, yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't say it first, but that's her. It's not, it's not as horrific as you could be, but that's her, and it looks like she's got brown hair. She does look pretty young. She's got the baby face, that kind of thing. And here's a side view of her. And some of the sketches, though, I'm not really sure. I don't know if this is that accurate. I mean, it's close, right? Got the right eye color, but the nose, I think, goes up higher like that. Like the point of it's different. See that? Like, see how the nostrils are higher up in there? I don't know if you can see it, but like right up in there. I'm trying to gauge. I mean, Peekaboo's comments. Your comments are always a little strange. What's going on? You seem like you're sort of out of touch with reality. A little strange. But yes, she was bitten on the shoulder by the killer. They just don't know if they weren't able to make a match with the bite to any of the known killers that were out there, because there were a lot of people who were suggesting she was related to her death was related to other known serial killers. Yeah. Yeah, well, there is an inverted. They did mention inverted nipples in the article, but you got 2 strikes already there, Peekaboo. Okay, talking about oh well, yay, and then your idiotic comment you just made up there. Okay, you don't say wow she's beautiful when you're looking at somebody's face when they've already died and they're sitting here. Okay, that's just weird. You seem like a weird person. All right. I'm sorry to have to break it to you. All right. Now, anyways, yeah, they couldn't make a match, but who knows, man? In '82, maybe they should retry the match now. And I think these are also cases. This is one that DNA might help solve who she is. Obviously, DNA Doe Project can work on that. The case that we were talking about earlier this evening from. I think they should definitely try to figure out if there's any DNA to actually make a definitive case against either the guy that was arrested for rape later. Anyways, if you watched the earlier show, you know what I'm talking about. But they need to go back over the evidence they have in that one. No, I don't think you're a freak. I think you're an idiot. Okay. All right. Freaks are cool people. You don't seem like it. Now, socially awkward, it might be a better term, Peekaboo. You might want to go look into your comments that you're making, sort of look inside and see why you're making those strange comments. All right. Okay, so that's her right there. Now there was a development later. Here's what's strange too is that those 3 witnesses that they just mentioned, they're all absolutely they're dead. Like you can't even ask them questions now, and that's only when you think about it, 30. It's 39. Well, how many years is that? Yeah, 39 years ago. But you'd think somebody would be alive. What were they all 50 at the time when they saw her? Yeah, does seem similar, doesn't it? Yeah, but you got 2 strikes there, Peekaboo. Let's see if you can get yourself another one. Inappropriate stuff going on there. All right. Okay. Following exhaustive witness appeals and extensive media accounts regarding this murder, numerous individuals, all of whom are now deceased, see, there you go, informed investigators they had seen a teenage girl matching the decedent's description within the 24 hours prior to her murder. These individuals include the manager of the South End Golf Station and 2 employees at the Hitch and Post truck stop. All right, so there you go. They're not alive anymore to tell us what they thought. The same girl was later seen at the Hitch and Post truck stop along Interstate 45. This is where I think she got the directions to go to the correction facility. And she said she was claiming that there was a friend waiting there for her to pick that person up. But why would you even joke around about, hey, I want directions there, if you're not really wanting to go there? I wouldn't understand any sort of ruse about that. All right. The remains of Walker County Jane Doe were exhumed in 1999 in order to conduct a further forensic examination of her remains, including the obtaining of a DNA sample from her body. The second forensic examination of her body revised the likely age of Walker County Jane Doe to between 14 and 18. So there you go. In November 2015, the case was officially reopened by the Walker County Sheriff's Office. DNA testing has also been conducted upon the high heel red leather sandals, because I think what they know for sure at that point is that the killer would have held those shoes because they were placed on the ground outside when she was found on the ground. I don't have any crime scene photos of her on the ground or the shoes or anything like that. Local police departments have also actively monitored other missing person reports for potential matches to the decedent. Investigators have also reached out to the public via various online websites, news, media, and television networks. Okay, they've done facial reconstruction, and that's, a lot of times that's where they come up with the sketches. I wonder if they've done a mold, like a model, a clay model of it. I doubt it. I don't even know. They couldn't find anybody at the facility that knew who she was, as I just explained a minute ago. Maybe it's possible she was just making small talk or some crap like that. I don't know what the hell, but that's a weird thing to say, right? Hell, maybe she was writing somebody in prison, and they knew that she was underage, and so when they went around asking, they go, I don't know who she is. I don't know who she is. Right? Something like that. All right, so here's one of the things that is interesting. Another thing that there's actually a photograph of a person here. In December 2015, a photograph surfaced of a white female aged approximately 14 years old, 5 foot 4 inches in height, and whose other physical characteristics also closely match those of Walker Jane Doe. The girl depicted in the image is a possible runaway named Kathleen with a C or Kathleen with a K, who may have hailed from Corpus Christi. The photograph emerged after a brother and sister reviewed a private collection of images taken of themselves, then aged 12 and 10, at a motel in Beeville, Texas, in the summer of 1980. These siblings had encountered this girl at the motel in question and recall both that she may have lived with a couple all the time the image was taken, or at the time the image was taken, and that she had expressed her wishes to meet a friend from Sugarland Prison. See, that's kind of weird, right? And is that the same? So another prison? Maybe that was just kind of her MO to get around and make it seem like she was a little edgy or something. The photograph emerged after a brother and sister reviewed a private collection of images taken of themselves, then aged 12 and 10. I wonder how they even put that together. It's just weird. And they knew it was the summer of 1980. Both of these siblings sincerely believe that Kathleen or Kathleen may actually be Walker County Jane Doe. A photograph of this girl, plus additional details of her physical characteristics and the circumstances surrounding the caption of this image, currently exist upon the Facebook page Who Was Walker County Jane Doe? Okay, well, I actually have that picture here. Right, so that's the girl right there. And, that does look like her. I'll tell you that. I mean, if you look at this image here, now that's just a sketch, right? It's similar hair color. Hell, even has the white. I mean, maybe that's even the same white sort of sweatshirt thing that they were talking about that had long pockets. Yeah, I don't think so, Andy. Man, you got a wild imagination there. Let's see. But you know what? It's possible, and A-N-D-I-E. It's possible. Everything's possible. Okay? I don't think so. Seems like this is just somebody that saw her hitchhiking. You know, who knows what their underlying motivation is for a lot of these people. Well, it's hard to, you know, you can't really say the teeth are similar because the thing on the right's a drawing and the one on the left is not a drawing. All right? Can't say that. So maybe we should load this picture back up again. This is going to be the one of her post-mortem. See, I don't think this looks... Well, it does, you know, it's weird. The nose is close in there. See how it's a little thicker there and it goes like that? And this is black and white, so that makes it harder to really tell. Her lips seem fuller to me here than here. She looks like she has thin lips, but I don't know if that necessarily, you know, makeup can make it look like that. I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think? Yeah, well, they've never been able to, and they've never been able to identify who this is right here. But doesn't it also seem weird that you have these people that just happen to be looking through photographs and go, oh, wow. I wonder if that, I mean, the odds of that are so low. Yeah, her face is swollen. Let's see. Well, here's one that somebody put together as a side-by-side. You know, you know, this does look like it's pretty promising. And let me show you something that I just noticed right here. Look at this. As a matter of fact, I'm going to... Is this a better image? That's flipped, isn't it? Or is that a different picture? Huh. How come it's like that? Why did they flip it around like that? I hate that crap. Now we don't know which one is... I mean, I'm pretty sure... People didn't have selfie cameras back then. But I'm actually looking at the corner of the eyebrow here. And look right there. You see how it's thinner, and then right there it's a little thicker, and then it curves down. Well, look at how you got that right there. How it's thick right in the corner and then down. That there looks similar too, doesn't it? Just right there, and then it's thicker and then down. Let me see if I can. But here's the thing: is this has been flipped right here. They just wanted it like that so that it would have the same angle. So that's something you can't really do. You know, people have different symmetry on their face. So hopefully she's symmetrical, and she seems to be pretty symmetrical if you just look at the original picture here. Like that. Her face looks pretty symmetrical. I'm glad this isn't the Delphi case where they cut down half her face, then flip it over, and then combine it into some weird morph and say, look, 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 and in reality it wouldn't mean shit because the angle isn't straight on. All right? I'm getting pretty good at the look, 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 look. And here's the thing, too. They also said that this shot right here, she had just got out of the pool, so her hair was wet and pulled back. That's why it doesn't have the curl to it. Yeah, I know there was a lot of swelling on that side of the face. I'm just saying this upper right here looks thicker than this. However, it's hard to say because this one she's smiling and you sort of tighten your lips a little bit and it would look thinner. This one she's not alive. Everything does, the distances and things seem good. You know, like between her nose and lip, you got, you know, it just seems things do kind of work, you know. Now on this one, it seems really like a little point on her nose from the side. I guess she could have that, but we're looking at a straight-on shot. I'd be interested to see some of their other photos. Well, the people that were with her know that she was swimming. This girl right here. This one right here. I was just reading that in the article. A photograph of the girl plus additional details of her physical characteristics and the circumstances surrounding the caption of the image. See, these are two people. They were like 12 and 10 years old. They took a picture with her, and they had just gotten out of the pool. See, these siblings had encountered the girl at the motel in question and recalled both that she may have lived with a couple at the time the image was taken and that she had expressed her wishes to meet a friend from Sugarland Prison. Well, that's a different prison now. Both of these siblings sincerely believe that Kathleen may actually be Walker County Jane Doe. A photograph of this girl plus additional details of her physical characteristics and the circumstances surrounding the caption of the image currently exist upon the Facebook page Who Was Walker County Jane Doe. This image and details pertaining to its caption are accompanied by appeals to the public to help provide the girl's full name and origins, all of which can be anonymously submitted to law enforcement should the sender wish to do so. Primarily appeals are made to individuals who attend any elementary or middle school within Corpus Christi, 1960s, 1970s. So they also went around and they talked to all the different schools and asked if anybody quit going to school, that kind of thing. There was another article that mentioned the swimming pool part. But yeah, it was they don't know who she is. They just know that the 10 and 12-year-old took a picture, apparently, on that around that time in 1980. And they remember her, and they think that that's her. And nobody's been able to identify the girl in the photograph since then. I mean, I don't know if they've tried hard enough. You'd think somebody around the country, I mean, she's just, you know, when you look at this picture here, this girl right here, she seems like a normal kid, you know? People should know who the hell she is. Somebody was a friend of hers somewhere, right? What are you talking about, Kayomi? The live image of the necklace, the dropper isn't visible, but it's on the deceased image. Oh, man. God. Okay. What do you mean the live? Oh, you mean the photograph. Just call it a photograph. Yeah. Yeah, well, I had already said it was a 10 and 12-year-old. Yeah. That took a picture with her. Let's see, the photo of her alive. Okay, yeah. So if you're saying the photo of her alive right here, and then this drawing right here, you're going to say that that necklace right there is going to be this necklace. Wouldn't that just been incredible? If that necklace had just been over slightly over to the right, just to the right slightly, and you could see that. I mean, it is thin, right? Does have the thinness to it. Although I can see a little thicker portion, it seems like right there, which doesn't really match this one. It's not that part right there. Yeah. So it's strange that you don't know who this is, and they haven't been able to identify her, even when you have, again, this, I guarantee it, a family member would recognize this face right here. Yes, it's swollen on this side, but you would definitely be able to say, oh wow, that's my sister, that's my daughter, that's... Okay, so again, images like that should be put out in the public right away and all around the area. Hell, I would just... I don't know how to do it. It's just we're too PC and care too much. All the news has to say is, listen, we're about to show the face of an individual who has not been identified, who is between the ages of 14 and 18, and or 18, just say 14 and 20. And we're going to show the image right now. And if you don't want your children to see it, take them out of the room. We'll show it in 10 seconds. All right, here is the picture. And then let everybody see it out there that would want to see it. Because you need to be able to see the pictures to be able to make an identification. I think it's weird that we have a society that cares so much about, oh God, I don't want it, somebody might get upset if they see it. Really? Come on. I think what it is I think society, it pampers people too much, and it's becoming worse and worse and worse. You know, this whole thing about, oh, you know, you don't want to offend anybody. Look out for the trigger warnings. Ooh. God, imagine how like the TV stations would be sued now for putting out a trigger warning. Oh my, you didn't put out a trigger warning before you know. It's just stupid. The whole thing. I think that she would have been identified really quickly had they just plastered all the media outlets with this picture right here. Somebody would have said, oh my God, I went to high school with her. I mean, she obviously went to school, right? She's had dental work. She made it to school. She was buddies with people at school. Somebody out there knows who this person is. It's ridiculous. And you don't think if you would put this out right away, yeah, I would have put it out in high schools and said, listen, everybody, this is just part of the world here. You'll probably see a deceased person at some point, but we want to know, does anybody recognize this person from this high school? And then somebody out there is going to say, well, gosh, yeah, she's the girl that hasn't been showing up all the time. I mean, and also, how come... crap. At least send the freaking photograph to every single high school in the country and just, I mean, I don't know how much that would cost, whatever. It probably cost you $10,000 at the time. But just send it to every single one of them. They can look at it and say, oh, wow, that's Cindy. She hasn't been to school in the last month. That's got to be her. Every single... given her age, she was in high school, right? I guess it could be middle school if she was 14 or 15. Anyways, I just get really frustrated with this whole thing. And here's one where they took her face with skin tone and tried to put the other hair on it. I think that's kind of a disservice, actually. I think that's a really poor sketch right there. You can't, let me zoom in on it. It's not good. I think they took this one and combined it with a sketch. Yeah, it's not very good. Well, let's see what we got down here. Yeah. It's weird how few links ever really work when you come down here to this area. Oh, excuse me. Nope, I gotta go get a Gatorade. I'm gonna start coughing and sneezing. Man, I was about ready to just start sneezing and throat was getting itchy. Why? I don't know. Okay. So let's go back out to the map here. So here's that hitch and post truck stop where she was seen and talked to the waitress right in this area. Just a gorgeous facility there. Fantastic. And, but she wasn't found too far away from there. Just right up here. Now, here's one of the things it always kind of bugs me a little bit is, I think it was on, is it this site? I guess these are different drawings over the years. See, this is the problem when this is what happens in the Delphi case. You see all these people, they think they're really clever and creative. They take the face of her deceased. Oh, Jesus, what the heck was that? Man, that was a loud sound that just came in. Was that, do you guys hear that beep? That was on Zoom, too. I don't know why that would happen. Huh. Like they do this in the Delphi case. They think they're so clever. They take a sketch and combine it with a photograph of somebody and then try to make it seem like that's it. Look at right here. How in the hell is that going to look like anybody? That's what they're doing in that one. And this one looks like they did the same thing. I guess that one, I don't know. It's just, to me, it doesn't make a lot of sense. You know, these ones here, it looks like they're really trying to capture what she might have looked like. But look at the difference between this one here. How about all of these right here? Like that one. Then all of a sudden you got this hitchhiker one. That one doesn't even look anything like the first one. This one looks absolutely nothing like that at all. It's just... yeah. And see this one, I don't know. That's not even, the eyes are correct. Everything, it's just, I mean, it looks like somebody, but it's just not going to be that accurate. Trust me. Where's the other one? Who will Locker Jim do? I was looking at a site, and they tried to explain how they knew where the body was found based on this culvert, which is weird because you guys remember the case the other day that had the culvert, right? The orange sock. Well, they actually think, remember the orange sock doe? They actually think that the same killer might have killed both of them. And I understand why, too. It's really... I found the location right here. There's a photograph out there. The GPS coordinates that were on this one site were correct. However, they showed us a culvert here that had a road that goes like this over here. a full-on road, and that's just not there. And I don't know if I can find it right now. I don't think it's in this one. Maybe it's in this one. Let's see. No, not that one. How about this one? Oh, I think it might have been in here. Okay. So here's one of the images, and they said, which is classic, they said, the image source apparently shows a specific spot. This was posted on Web Sleuths. So we're supposed to go, oh my God, it's Web Sleuths, everybody. That means it's 100% accurate. Okay, well, here's the thing, is their GPS coordinates that are right here are correct. This works. I wonder if they're on the other side of the... it's bizarre. So you put the GPS coordinates in, like that, and there it is. It's right in the right spot. I found the right spot. Those GPS coordinates are really close. Hey, thanks, Paisley Dreams. I always like that name. Sounds happy.
My kids were busy this weekend. Here's part of the grocery dollar I didn't have to spend, faced with tears of joy.
All right. Well, I have tears with a face of joy too. Thank you. All right. So what we're looking at here, you can see right here this little loop road here, which is an identifier in this shot. So about right in this area is where her body was found on the other side. But this right here, even though there's a culvert here, that can't be correct. And the reason is look at this little road here. It's little, and then there's this road going off here. That's not a highway or anything. I mean, I guess it's, you know, I just can't see it here. I don't even see any kind of a road going off in any direction. And then I did see on another site that this was the location. And that's how actually how I found that spot, and then it matches up with the GPS coordinates. See how there's a culvert and then the creek goes like this and then starts curving? Well, watch. That's what this is right there. There's the culvert, the little creek that comes out of the culvert, and then let's go back in time and you can actually see different versions of the ground where there's actually water in there. All right, see, there's the water running like that. This is a January 2017, March. There's the water. So that image was taken right there. And apparently her body was something like 20 feet or so off the road, I think. Let's see. Yeah, it's just right in this area. So the thing is she was very easily spotted, wide open. People drove by it that day and thought it was a mannequin just on the ground. And then finally a trucker drove by and said, "Oh, wow, there's a body here." Yeah. So the location here would have looked like this, similar. Yeah, so her body was just sitting right here on the side of the road. And there's that little circular thing there. Roundabout. I'm not even sure what the hell, why you put that there. Probably old, part of some old property or something. Actually, that's a different roundabout. That's this one over here. There's one over here too. Right. Now, when I pan out a little bit, look where Orange Sock Doe is right here. Right there. And let's just do a miles thing here. Really a simple, just a straight line as the crow flies, and then you usually add about 40% and you'll get the driving distance. So it's only 118 miles away. Very close in reality. 140, let's say, driving, 150. But here's what's interesting about that. Another body on the side of the road, and guess what? Another culvert. She was found down here by the culvert. So what are the odds of that just alone? The culvert thing. You know, they should probably call him the culvert killer. I just think it's strange that you have two nude bodies dumped on the side of the road. She had her socks on. The other one had the red shoes next to her. And they're both dumped right next to a culvert. And, you know, maybe they drove by and saw the culvert and threw her there hoping the water would pull her away. But in this case, it didn't sound like they even cared. They just put her like 20 feet off the road and she was found. Yeah, so let's see. She was lying face down in an area of grass approximately 20 feet from the shoulder of Interstate Highway 45. I don't know. They didn't say exactly what side she was on, but I think it's on that side because that's the side. Let's see. Yeah, that makes sense because she was heading north, right? Here's what I think happened. You guys want my theory here? I think she possibly hitchhiked to here. It was only a 4-mile walk. That's pretty far, actually, to just kind of be walking around. But let's say from the Hitchin Post truck stop to Shell gas station, it's 3.85 miles, but probably 4.5 walking. So she's walking, and let's say she makes it here, and then hitches a ride with a trucker. Maybe the trucker was saying, oh, I can get you over to the Texas Department of Corrections. Or she may have even left here and kind of went in an area where she could hitch a ride near the freeway here. And a trucker picked her up, and they never even went here. Or maybe they went in there late at night, and they kept her all that time. So here's the thing. She left at 6:30, right? The Hitchin Post truck stop, wasn't that right? And then let's see what time they said that was. Hold on. See, according to the first witness, the girl appearing somewhat disheveled had arrived at the South End Gulf station, so that was at 6:30. Okay. At this location, she had exited the blue 1973-74 vehicle, which is this car right there. Okay? Not that exact car, but one that looked just like it. I'm not claiming they actually caught the guy and everything. Oh, it's a Mavic 2 Pro drone. There you go. Very easy to fly. What's not easy to do is what Raven does.
When you get a sec later, would you mind telling us what kind of drone you have? It was awesome. Sorry for the non-sequitur. Great show.
You know, Raven, what he does is crazy, because the drone that I have, if you let go of the controls, it'll actually just hover right where it is. You just let go, and let's say you're having trouble. You just let go, and it stops, and it just hovers. What he does, the FPV drones, you got to be on the throttle the whole damn time. You don't get a relax or anything like that. There's no hovering mode, you know. I mean, I didn't really think about it like that, but I was watching Ken Herron today. He's trying to get into he's one of the YouTuber drone guys. He's funnier than shit, though. I mean, he's amazing. Raven got me to watch him. Hey, Raven, there you go. You showed up. He got me to watch him. But he was trying to learn it, and he was making all these mistakes, but you have to always have the throttle going. You can't just let go of it. It'll just crash into the ground. Yeah. So, anyways, so at 6:30, he arrived she arrived at the Gulf station at approximately 6:30. And then, let's see, what was the next time? The same girl was later seen at Hitch and Post truck stop along Interstate 45. Okay, so she actually made it to that truck stop. When they say later, we don't know what later means. How come they didn't say what later means? So let's say it was, let's just throw out a number, 9 o'clock at night, right? Maybe, so 6:30, let's just say 9 o'clock. So she gets there, and then a trucker says, yeah, I'll take you somewhere. She gets into his truck, and then he goes nuts and does all the crap that he does. All the way through the evening, she's tied up, she's naked, he leaves the shoes on her, he does all the crazy stuff, and then he ends up killing her, and then late at night, but he kept doing that for a long time, because apparently she was killed at 3 in the morning. So he was torturing her and doing whatever the hell he wanted to do with her for hours and hours. And then after he did those things at this truck stop, he probably pulled away and then had a job somewhere else. As he pulled up to here late at night, 3 in the morning, nobody's around, he quickly jumps out of the car, tosses her body aside, gets back in the truck, and takes off. And he's nowhere to be seen again. I mean, look at that. He probably was just on this freeway heading, who knows where. Went into Dallas, somewhere else, just... What do you think? Does that sound mildly reasonable? Yeah, this is in, it was in Huntsville. So Sugarland prison's farther away. Isn't that weird that the other person, that those two kids, here's what I'd like to know. The 12 and 10-year-old who said they have a picture of this girl, when did they come forward with that? I'd have a hard time believing that 20 years later they were looking through photos and say, oh yeah, you remember her? She was saying she was going to go to the... Because it just would have been an absolutely meaningless conversation with somebody that you had 20 years ago. You wouldn't remember details like that. But if you ask them about it within a few months, maybe, they'd say, oh yeah. So I'd like to know how soon the revelation of this photograph came out. Yeah. Well, do you guys think there's a reasonable possibility that it's connected to the orange sock death? Nah, I don't think so, Susanna. Always the contrarian, always the contrarian. Let's see. Yeah, like 20 years later, they're gonna go, oh yeah, it was the prison over here in this. Yeah, come on, no way. There's no way. They might have remembered it was a prison, but they both sort of came up with the same one. I actually think it's more likely that well, not more likely, but a possibility they kind of wanted to insert themselves in there. Doesn't seem like it. So you think maybe the orange sock one? Okay. I don't think they remember 20 years later. Yeah. Let's see. Who started EquiSearch? Tim Miller was his name. Or is his name. He's still out there. Yeah, well, I think they took the picture of her post-mortem to the prison and let people see. Yeah, well, I said that on the air. I said a Mavic 2 Pro. You know. I mean, I answered it like right after you said it. Hopefully you got it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Steve Jones, for just repeating what I just said. Good stuff. Yes, the Mavic 2 Pro. Yeah. Maybe I didn't say it loud enough. Let me say it again. The Mavic 2 Pro, everybody. So let me see if I can go up to Raven 187. Can I play your drone video? This is just an aside right now. Oh wait, I don't know. I have to turn down the audio, unfortunately. There he is. That's Raven 187. Oh, no, I lost my link. It's funny how the signal's always kind of bad. I know it's just going like a Wi-Fi going through the air, but or analog, right? So it's not as clear. I think I'd fall over. Like if you had the goggles on, wouldn't you just fall over? I would. Yeah, look at that. That's sweet. Wait, hold on. Let me start over. I'm gonna do this again. Okay, hold on. I think that's perfect for my music. The Art Bell. You know, when I try to do the Art Bell imitation, this one I hear. There we go. Oh yeah! Here we go. Okay, Steve Jones. I didn't know. I thought it was after. Looked like it. I thought that's why they put the money out there to ask the question. Woo, look at that. That music worked right there. Agile than a Mavic, for sure. Way harder to fly, though. Oh! Yeah, you gotta get this high quality video on this. Oh, not the. Yeah, well, the landing wasn't that smooth there. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I think Steve Jones was saying, I didn't know the timing. I thought that the donation was for asking me what kind of drone I was flying. And I was like, oh, Mavic 2 Pro, but I guess she'd asked the question prior up in the chat. I didn't see that part. So, my bad. Let's see. Police should never lose a suspect. I know, that's what I was just thinking the other day. Why don't they use drones forget the helicopter, okay? Forget the freaking helicopter. Just have like a drone unit. So one drone flies for 20 minutes, send it on back. The other one, though, meets it halfway and it's already catching up. You overlap each other. So there's always like a 10-minute, and have like 10 drones and just be. And hell, you know what you could do with the drone? You could actually fly the damn drone in to the vehicle and put like tear gas in it if you wanted to. I mean, you could fly the drone in and have it just, have a little heavier drone with a point on the front and have it fly right through the window and just. I mean, man, I think law enforcement's really kind of missing out on the whole drone angle. They could be doing all kinds of shit with that thing. I mean, and forget helicopters too, right? Because look where you could fly with a drone. I wouldn't use those type of drones I would use like a souped up Mavic 2 or something like that, because you don't need to do flips and shit like that to follow a car. What you really want is high definition, clear video, and that drone just flying right next to the car, going through tunnels and just never leaving its side, really. It'd be amazing. Just fly a little bit above it, and then just keep tracking it around. And think about it like this, too. You could fly the drone, and you could actually have things that it could deposit onto the vehicle for GPS tracking reasons. Anything like. Yeah, well, that's exactly. Hey, that's funny. I was just saying what Kay just said. Yeah, I mean, it's nuts. They're really kind of missing out on that. And I think it's already. They could start using it for that tomorrow if they wanted to. Well, I've seen videos where you can go, they've gone up to 6 miles away. I'm not even going to go over 1,000 feet, probably. Now, if I went out to Central Oregon in the desert somewhere, where it's flat and maybe there's a mountain range, I don't think I'd have a problem at all. I bought the signal extenders, too. It's like a little parabolic, dual parabolic dish type thing. Here, I'll show you. Let me get it. Hold on. I know, we switched right over to drones for some reason. Alright, but anyways. See that? This goes, you put the antennas through there, and then you beam it towards the drone, and I guess it extends it out quite a bit, but here, let me, I'll go get it. Yeah. I still got to go get my license, my 107 crap. Alright, so here's the controller for it. Can you guys see that? Or? So there's a controller right there, right? And then this thing goes on it like this. Oh, I put it on backwards. Alright, so there you go. Right there. And that extends it out quite a bit. And then what's kind of cool is the way this works. Here, I'll do it again in a sec. So the easiest thing to do on these to set them up is, it's really simple. Like, you put your phone in here. There's a wire, like a USB-C or mini-C, something. I can't remember the names of it, but it goes from here and it goes into your phone like this, and then I can't really show you how to do it, but I'll put it together and then you'll see it. But it's really simple. So then after you put your phone in, it kind of looks like that. All right. Now I also have it. I bought a notepad, and I bought this whole other contraption that holds it all, and it's way bigger, way better to use. So it's pretty cool. So this is kind of what you have, and it's around your neck, and then you can fly it around. And then if you watch the Ken Heron videos, you got to fly it with your fingers like that, the pinch method. You don't go like this with your thumbs, okay? You got to be precise movements. All right, so there you go. All right, everybody. Drone lesson number 1. Yeah, it's really pretty easy to use, I gotta tell you. I mean, I can actually get my drone up and flying in about, I think if I was really hustling, in 2 minutes. Literally. Not even that. Like, just, you turn the drone on, you turn your controller on, you get your phone connected, it automatically opens the app, you hit the go button and hit the launch, and boom, you're up in the air. Thanks.
Thanks, Gray. I appreciate it.
I forgot how to pronounce. What's that acronym for again? Oh, a classical guitarist. Thank you, Gray. I remembered. Yay. Well, you can go like 6 miles, but you don't want to do that. You have to have line of sight at all times, and your maximum height is 400 feet, unless you get permission or something like that. But I'd love to. I think the maximum height is like ludicrous. You could probably go 20,000 feet in the air, except you just can't do it legally. Yeah. Yeah, Tim Miller's awesome. You know, he actually was in the McStay case for a little bit of time there. Or is awesome. I don't know why I keep saying was. The guy's alive, you know. Well, the problem is it's got 6 mile range, but only about a 25-minute battery life. So you'd have to really hustle out there, but then that kills the battery life, and then you have to get back. It, you know, it does fly like 30 miles an hour-ish, something like that. Even quicker, actually. No, you can't actually fly. You can fly up to 30 minutes after the sun goes down. And Raven's the one that made me go, Gray, you can't do that. on the 4th of July, you know, thought it'd be cool to get some shots of the fireworks. Yes, hey, look at Bush and Beach Lifestyle doing the math for everybody. It's 3 miles both ways. Okay? a 6-mile flight, but it has a range of 6 miles, but you probably wouldn't want to go all the way to the 6 miles because you might not be able to get back. Although the video I saw, the guy did it, so I don't know how he did that, how he got back. And I have learned how to catch it, the drone. You have to stick your hand up in the air, you make your whole hand out like that, and you go underneath it, and then you have it go down, and eventually it recognizes your hand is ground, and it lands on your hand. You grab it, and keep holding it down, and the drone turns off. Very useful, and you want to probably put it into tripod mode when you do that. The tripod mode is amazing. The drone maybe goes 2 miles an hour. It's really stable. It's amazing. So all right. I'm just reading the comments again. You gonna get one? Alright. I would recommend getting the pack where you have extra stuff with it. Was it really? There was drugs in that thing? Jesus. Cairo sent me a picture of a... Gosh, do you have the communications regarding that? Cairo? Like on Facebook or anything?
The cereal box was drug stuff.
So it was supposed to be a delivery to somebody? Just pretend to be on the ground or what? Yeah, no, I didn't read about that. So he came over and looked at it, and then there was just like actual drugs in there, or paraphernalia? What do you mean by drug stuff? You know. Oh, so you told the fireman, and what did he do? No needles, huh? Okay. I have a friend of mine that's a... remember the case we were talking about last night with the guy that lived... Well, I think... Was it last night or 2 nights ago? The guy that killed his wife in 2000... Well, no. 1939. But then he died in 2009. Is that right? Let's see. 39... And then he died in 2009. Yeah, right. So that would make... He was 20 years old at the time. Right. Well, I have a friend that's looking into like a real background kind of thing. Because you know what I'm curious about that case is, you know, this guy had urges to kill for 2 years. Then he got put into a mental hospital. And then he went to World War II. And then he got married in 1969. So there's a 25-year gap in there. And in 69 he would have been, so he was 20 and 39, he would have been 50 years old, and that's past the point where, you know, he's going to have these sexual, you know, weird, well, I don't even know if it was sexual, there was no sexual cravings in nature about it. So, but you kind of wonder, what was he doing for those 25 years? I'm kind of wondering, I'd like to know where that guy lived for those 25 years, and are there other people that ended up being mutilated in those cities during some of the times he might have lived there? Yeah, no thanks, Andy. Anyways. Here, I'll show you the, this is what, can I show that on the screen, Cairo? The box, do you mind? That you're talking about that had needles in it? Well, to me it just seems, yeah, like all of a sudden from 1939 all the way to 2009, 70 years he didn't have any more cravings? I don't think so. All right, so this is what Cairo was looking at. He literally messaged me this and he said, look, there's a this cereal box that has duct tape on all four corners, and said, I don't think I should be looking to see what's in this thing. So I guess apparently he contacted a fireman who then looked at it and said there was needles inside. Were they used needles? Well, it's not really like the Golden State Killer, because the Golden State Killer kept doing it up until, I mean, he was in his 30s. This guy was only 20 years old. I think there's a certain age, and the Golden State Killer was sexual motivated. That was what he did. And there's a certain point when you're like 50 years old, he probably doesn't have the same hormones and things like that, where he's like, oh my God, I'm going to go out and do this tonight. I can't wait to do it tonight. Like, you lose that part of it. So, however, the guy that we're talking about from the other night, he, hell, let me see what the name of that one again. What the hell was the name of that case? No, I didn't even have it mapped out. That's right. Okay. It was the Walter Robinson Hibbard case. That one. Yeah, his wasn't sexually motivated. I mean, he was married for 8 days to the wife. The wife was just, due to give birth soon. And then the wife asked for a glass of water. He walks into the room with not water, but a new knife that he just bought, and stabbed her 5 times in the chest, and he said she was crying. So then I dragged her over into the bathroom and cut her head off into the sink. And then I cut her head off, then I put her head in the sink, and then I cut up the rest of her body. Then I just drove away. Then eventually I just turned myself in. He said, I always just wanted to see what it felt like to kill somebody. I have an urge. I have urges. So then he gets put into a psychological hospital, like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest type place, for about a year. He was in there in 1940-ish. I don't know how long he was in there for, but then he served in World War II in 1944, and then all you hear next is he got married in 1969, and he got to live a long life with kids and everything, and died in 2009. But I want to know what in the hell he was doing, because that's a different type of urge that doesn't have anything to do with hormones. It's like a psycho crap. Yeah, psychopath. Yeah, like Lanky Tor just said. Yeah, well, she didn't live, so we didn't teach her a damn thing. Yeah. Well, he didn't get a lobotomy or anything because he was in the military. I think he probably was in there and said, you know, I feel differently now. Here's what I think the truth of it is. I think back then, they didn't want to admit to the society that there were these people that are just, you know, psychopaths. So they came up with, hey, well, let's just put him in a psych ward. Hey, and then we'll let him out at some point and just blend him back into society. I mean, his name was never mentioned again in any newspaper articles. I found that to be strange. You'd think people would have kept tabs on the guy, asked questions, but they didn't. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, they arrested the guy. I knew that yesterday. During the show, I said that they caught the guy. Oh, really? I didn't see that part. The chap had been on the loose for 2.5 years and murdered his brother with a sword. Jesus. Yep, time to ban all swords, everybody. Apparently he was able to find a gun, too. That's crazy. Yeah, I didn't see that part of it. I saw that they wanted to know if anybody had seen him hitchhiking and things like that, but I didn't know that they said that he was somebody that they'd been looking for. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, it could be. Maybe percentage-wise it is, but... yeah. He went Kim Jong-un on his brother. It the river is cold. Sassmere, it the river is cold. I don't know what that means. Why did that crazy guy on the bus in Canada use a sword or knife, Gray? Well, he just used a knife. Yeah. He cut the guy's head off on the bus. But he's back out on the streets today. Completely cured, apparently. One thing we know for sure is the judge that let him out didn't let him stay in his house for a year. Well, Gray, you just don't understand the new technologies. Yes, you're right. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. That's the case in Canada. Yeah, if you guys hadn't seen that one, go look it up on... If you haven't seen that one, go look it up on YouTube. You can see the interviews with the guys on the bus, where this guy sitting on the back of... This young kid was sitting on the back of the bus listening to like a Walkman type thing. iPad, you know, whatever you call it. iPod, whatever. And he's listening to some music, and this Hmong guy, H-M-O-N-G... Asian guy came walking in the back there, and he sat next to the guy, and then somewhere on the road they just see him start stabbing the guy to death, and the bus pulled over and everybody got off the bus, and then eventually he came to the front of the bus holding only his head. Like the guy held the guy's head that he just killed, he held it up in the front of the glass, and then the police came later and they arrested him, and then he went into a mental hospital. Now that was just 6 years ago. Now he's out. It's good stuff, you know. Really, you know, good old Canada for you. Yeah, exactly. You don't say Z or Z, boy, you're getting put in prison. But you cut people's heads off, and you get a break. Well, Come on, Paisley Dreams. Is that a commentary on my show? She said, falling asleep, everybody. Take care. Come on. Say something like, God, interesting stuff. I'm just so tired from my hard day at work, and it has nothing to do with... That's okay. I know we've switched all around. We went from discussing the Walker County Jane Doe to drone flying to other random shit. That's kind of what happens. But at least the Walker County Jane Doe stuff was all condensed into the beginning of the show. I scared her to sleep. No, I think they just want to believe that stuff in Canada. Yes, just good mental health, some drugs and so forth. That'll work. Yeah. Because if it doesn't work, why bother even having psychologists or psychiatrists who can actually treat? And the morpheme, IATR, means to treat. So anytime you see IATR in there, you know that it means to treat. Yay, I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, sorry. I guess Paisley Dreams just said that and went and just hit the click goodnight button. Yeah, did you guys see this case here? That Indiana girl was missing. She was 16. She was found safe in Arkansas, but she really was kidnapped by a stalker. And somehow the FBI... See, I think the FBI, like I've said before, they have some crazy tech going on that we're not really aware of. That's why they're called in quickly all the time now, because if they get on the move really quick, there's something they can do. I mean, they tracked this guy all the way to... They found her all the way in Arkansas. That's crazy. And they rescued her. This one right here. Dun, 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 dun. Nah, I haven't looked that one up. Think Renee. I've got so many people tell me, look this one up, look that one up, look this one up, look that one up, look. It's
Have
just,
you looked
it's
into
so
the
hard.
1998 Dina
So eventually
Dean
I just
case?
look up kind of what I want to look up, I guess. But you can send me an email if you want with the name and a couple links to get started, something like that. Yeah, but they've got some new technology, something going on. I just really... There's the last 3 years or so, there's been this huge jump in how, like, the FBI seems like they get involved almost immediately every time there's a missing person or something like that, like right away, because they can do some different things, and we just don't know what that is yet. Now, it could have just been as simple as the idiot left his cell phone on, and they immediately just tracked where he was. Oh, look at this weird one. Look at this crazy case that came by the other day. I think this one Jewel sent to me. Mummified human remains, strange altar found in home of man accused in child sex crime. A search of the Newark house of a man accused of sexually assaulting a 13-year-old led to the morbid discovery of mummified human remains and an altar to an unknown deity. The Essex County Prosecutor Office announced Friday. Robert Frank Williams, 53, of Newark, was charged with various endangering the welfare of a child offenses, sexual assault of a victim between the ages of 13 and 15. Well, what about the charge of killing somebody and mummifying them? Well, Gray, we don't know if he didn't just purchase those online. Really? On Thursday, detectives from the prosecutor's office and Newark police executed a search warrant of Williams' home and found the mummified human remains in a bin in the closet and the altar in his bedroom, according to a release. The identity, let's see, they put the identify. It's supposed to be the identity of the remains was not released Friday, and no other information was provided by the prosecutor's office. Well, something tells me there's going to be more to that one. Don't you think? Oh, look at that. Phoebe Cates. Man, who doesn't remember Phoebe Cates? Everybody my age remembers her. Okay. Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and then she's also in Gremlins, the first movie. That's all I remember her from. Yeah. I haven't looked into it either, but apparently there's this case where two men are missing, and they drove the same exact type of truck, and it's kind of in the same area. So I'll probably look at that tonight or in the morning sometime. I don't know what that means, but it's pretty weird at the same time. All right. Yes, maybe it's that. You ever watch my video on that? The mummification video? Recreational mummification? Yeah. Heck, was ahead of my time. Oh, I was ahead of your time? Oh. Yeah, well, the Brat Pack was awesome. I would say The Breakfast Club is still one of the better movies out there. I mean, to make a movie with that great of acting, and basically the budget must have been nothing, because all it was just filmed inside of a school. It was awesome. All right, see you later, Tink Renee. All right, well, anyways, I didn't really have. I went over that one case, and I didn't really have any other cases to talk about. The Walker County Jane Doe. They have tried to associate her with some serial killers, but none of that has panned out at this point. And apparently, they found no DNA on her at all. They should probably try to revisit that, though. There's different technologies now. They did take her out. What do you call that? I can't remember what it's called when you dig somebody out of a grave. Also, it just isn't popping into my head. But in 1999, they took her out to get some more DNA evidence. But they need to just figure out who she is. But I think in her case, it won't really matter who she is, because I don't think that she was killed by somebody that knew her. Yeah, exhumed. There you go. Jesus. Man. That just wasn't popping into my head. And watch. I'm going to get 15 exhumes. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it? Oh, man. They should do these on TV. Yeah. Yeah, we need 10 more, man. I thought we were going to get 10 of them. Or 15, I thought. So we only got 5. Damn it. Okay, there's 6. Anyways, on Tuesday, I might be having Kelsey on. Might be doing a show, a live call-in show again, a Delphi one. So you guys can ask questions if you want. And as I said earlier in the day, Colleen Fitzpatrick did say that we could do a show where she's on and people call in and can ask her questions. So you definitely, if that happens, you guys can't be shy and not call in and ask your questions. I know that some of you actually do work on DNA projects. So you definitely need to be calling in. Do we need the auctioneer? No, the underwater one? Yeah. Yeah, I've looked at that drone. I like that one.
Next, you need to get an underwater drone.
I like the one. You have to have, there's a cable that goes with it because there's no, you can't transmit underwater for some reason. I actually did that with my GoPro camera so that I could see it on my cell phone. You had to put this wire and you had to tape it to the actual outside and create this antenna underwater, and it kind of worked. It wasn't great, but it did work. But without it, you can't see a damn thing. Hey Andy, you're kind of doing the ANDIE. You're doing some verbal texting constipation, or diarrhea is what I meant to say. You're just like, just wasting space. Yeah, I don't really know what questions you guys might ask. Best question. Can you think of anybody at all that she was friends with or something that could have had anything to do with it? I don't think there is, because she said that many times, but people seem like they've never heard her say it, and I've heard her say it. Yes, hit the like button, alright? Jesus. What the hell happened? Uses an unsupported format. No, I guess it's not working right now. My audio sound maker. Well, it might be Tuesday. What's August 23rd? I don't get it. Yeah, yep, August 23rd, yep. That's coming up, yep. But what does that mean? Don't know what that means. All right. August 23rd. I don't know what that reference is. No, it's Tuesday. Today's the 18th. It would be the 20th, not the 23rd, right? Today's Sunday, right, everybody? Come on, where's those great mathematicians that are out there? Today's the 18th. Tomorrow's the 19th. That's Monday. And then the day after that is the 20th, which is Tuesday. Oh, my date. Okay. Is that what my date was? Oh, cool. So that means I predicted that on the 23rd of August. I didn't even memorize that. Man, you guys have better memory than me, or maybe you wrote it down. I don't remember. I was trying to remember what day in August I said. So I said August 23rd. So Tuesday is the 20th. So I'm saying Friday then, right? Yes. Wouldn't that be awesome? Kelsey comes on, and 3 days later, boom, an arrest is made. Yeah. Well, if I'm right, I'll definitely start my own psychic channel. What do you mean it's Monday? What does that mean? Tomorrow's the 19th. Tuesday's the 20th. And then 21, 22, 23. That's the 25th. 23rd, I mean. God. The 23rd is Friday. The show I'm having, hopefully, with Kelsey is on the 20th, Tuesday. Yeah, it's 11:35 here. Man, something so simple got really complicated, really quick. Yeah. All right. Anyways, I think I'm about done here. Where are we gonna do the flyby tonight? Yeah. Cool. Let today be the day. Yeah, it's going to be cool one day when we finally can say, because Becky posts every single day, today is the day, on her Facebook page, and I want to be able to say, today actually was the day. And if I ever do a video on that day, that's probably what the headline will be. A live show. Of course, someone like Greeno will just copy it, because now his channel's called Anthony Greeno Investigates. Wow, boy. Jeez. That sounds a little bit familiar. Let's see. I work 7 days a week. When weekends don't matter, you lose track of days. Yeah, so where are we going again? I don't want to fly in a city though. I want to fly in a deserty area with rocks. Okay, so pick something like that out. Yeah, he's always copying stuff, trying to do the same exact shit that I do. Getting kind of shitty, but oh well. Flattery's the best form of, what is it? Not flattery. Imitation's the best form of flattery. There you go. Flattery's the best form of imitation. Oogla boogla! Right, yeah, but on his other page, it's stupid. Okay. Yeah, we've been to the Badlands just recently. We've also been to the Grand Canyon a million times. There's got to be somewhere else. Like what's out in like Wyoming or something? I'm sure there's something like that. I don't want to go to Area 51. I've been there too, about 3 different shows. Hey, Randy's doing, he's got an alien channel now. It's awesome. Got a mask on and everything. And it's still his voice with the alien mask. Okay, Montana then. You got any rock formations in Montana? Oh yeah, we did this one. That's what was in Close Encounters of the Third Kind. That's so weird. That's actually the inside of a volcano right there. Like in Oregon, there's a. Well, let's see what that looks like. Haystack Rock, Oregon. It's in the ocean now. See right there? That's the same damn thing right there. It even kind of looks similar. See that? That's an old volcano where it just hardened inside and then the dirt on the outside eroded. Yeah, it's in Wyoming. Yeah, we've been to Ayers Rock. I guess there's only like a few famous places. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go up in the air. And most of the rocky areas are around in here, right? Yeah. Thanks, Robert B. I might actually do that Leslie Gulch one again. So I think I was kind of, there was more stuff to look at over there.
Go to Alaska. Went there last year for vacation.
It doesn't seem like there's very good maps in Alaska. Yeah, we can just fly around here some more, I guess. St. George, Utah. Let's try that one. That's kind of cool, I guess. Yeah, I guess we could try some of that. Maybe I'll go there and then back to the gulch. Let's see, what I always forget the name. Woods? Woods Lady and Kids or something like that. I actually know her on Facebook, but I don't know that name. It's hard to remember that one. I'm buffering. Camping in the car. Wow. So you're out camping and you're watching the show. Man, that's pretty cool. All right, before we do that, though, on this show, I want to say thanks. Well, actually, I'll go through all of these again. Throughout the day. All right, so on PayPal, thank you to Linda, Addie, Nina. Well, let's see, hold on. I want to make sure I got these right. Yeah, so, yeah, Addie, Andrea, and what was the other one? These are all PayPal donations from the day. Yeah, so it was Linda, Addie, Nina, and Andrea. So thank you very much. PayPal donations where YouTube gets absolutely nothing. Yee-hoo! All right. And then I'm going to go through the super chats of today. And that's Robert B., Richard the Mechanic. And he said I need to get an underwater drone. Yeah, I've wanted to get one of those. And then Tink Renee, Cairo Al Qadir, classical guitarist, 2 different times in a row there. Paisley Dreams, who eventually said she's really bored and went to sleep. Then we've got Claudia Neubauer. Wait, that is what she said, right? Well, she didn't say bored, right? What was the term she used? She said, oh, yeah, I'm really tired. Okay, that's right. Then Claudia Neubauer, Cairo Al Qadir. Hey, when are you going there, Claudia, to the... when's that hearing coming up? Is that coming up pretty soon? Yeah, falling asleep. Maret Seville, Sean Beecham, Miss Mola. And by the way, my Timbers got their ass kicked at home tonight by Atlanta. Miss Mola, and then Barbara Smith, Sean Beecham, Mitch, who's letting me know that there was a PayPal donation, Eleni Thing, Barbara Smith again, and that's all the PayPal, the super chat donations from the day. So thank you very much. Very kind. And we've just got 12 more days, and we'll be doing our next charity donation. What do you guys want to do this next time? I was kind of thinking of donating to the DNA Doe Project. What do you think? I was thinking of sending in a couple $100. Should we do that on the first? Because a lot of the cases they do are off of donations. All right. So that's what we'll be doing. All right. So here we go. We're going to do the flyby. I don't have any audio, so I can't say, "Good night, freaks." That's kind of weird. That's a weird spot. how Raven flies his drone around. Look at that. Hey, sorry we were all over the place tonight, but I just really wanted to talk about the Walker County Jane Doe, but then it kind of went off the rails after we covered it, though, so that's good. So you can't complain out there if you're one of the people going, oh, great, you went off topic. Oh. Get over it. No nebulae, no nebulae. Yes, everybody, thank you for coming on to the show tonight. Tomorrow, we'll... Not sure what I'll be covering, but I might look up another one of the... You know, the Jane Doe or John Doe cases out there. We haven't really done a John Doe yet, I don't think. Seems like there's more Jane Does out there, though. What are you referring to, Stephen? What case? I get like a million different requests every day. But what case are you talking about? Look how clear these rocks are right here. That's what I like, is when the satellite imagery... I mean, if somebody was sitting there, you could see them, you know? I wonder if people looking for dinosaur bones ever go onto Google Earth and fly around and... Because, I mean, look how accurate this shit is. Like, you could sit here and go, oh, look. You know, look, there's a T-Rex right there. You've got the tail sticking out. You know, I'm just saying, like, if you went to the right spot in Wyoming, where they seem to be, or North Dakota or South Dakota. Yeah, I don't know. Never heard of them. What's crazy about it? I think I did read something about that a while ago, or a couple days ago, but I don't think it's... it's recent, right? Or is that some other case? It seemed like there was a case out of the country where one girl was kind of... she was taken out of a window or something like that. No, I guess... Oh, yeah, I remember that one. Yeah. Yeah, that's the one where they were walking around. There's some photographs, or... let's see, what was it? They found... Didn't they find them in the river somewhere a long time later? Like their body parts, or at least clothing or something like that? I think that's the one you're talking about. Yeah, I've looked at that. It's just... That one's been covered by so many people that it's just not really... For me, it's not that interesting at this point. It was kind of interesting to look at, and I did start collecting stuff, but then I realized that virtually every single YouTuber, it's been covered 1 million times, and there's like 1,000, and they took some photographs out there too, right, while they were walking around. You know, lots of speculation, wild theories on that one. What do you think I would do differently than... I mean, I know I look at things differently, but it just seems like every possible thought has been covered on that case. I like the ones that haven't been covered, that hardly at all. Like the one we did earlier in the day, that thing was crazy. I mean, just absolutely, just nuts. You know, it was crazy when it turns out the son of the suspected killer, he turned, the killer and rapist, turned out to be a rapist himself, and serving 40 years now. The one that his wife was pregnant with while he was up on charges. It's crazy. Yeah. Well, maybe I'll take a look at it, and if it gets my juices flowing, if you know what I'm saying, I might do it. But it's just, I've seen it so many times now. You know, I don't mean to downplay something, but when a case has been covered that many times, I'm not sure how my analysis at that point would make any difference. I might come up with some of different ones that other people have said. But, I mean, I can always take a look at it. If something strikes me that I haven't seen it before, maybe I would do it. But Lanky Tor smells like a campfire. That's awesome. Alright. Okay, everybody. That is it for the show tonight. Sorry for the discombobulation of it, but every once in a while shows get like that. I'll leave it up, don't worry. Alright? Okay, well, thanks everybody for coming here and supporting the channel. If you wouldn't mind hitting the like button on the way out the door, I'd appreciate it. If not, go to hell. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding! Oh my god, did you hear what Gray said? Oh.
Oh, golly, golly, golly. He really pushed my trigger warning button.
Oh. Now, I'm sorry. Okay? I really am. All right, everybody. Thank you for showing up tonight. And as I always say, until next time, be safe out there.